and there from there the transmit what you call now it is going on. Okay, so here radio station will have a receiver, and with the help of this, again the receiver, whatever the radio said, that converts the radio frequency waves as the sound waves, and we are able to hear the radio programs. And uh, after that, we have cyber journalism under your 10.2.3 cyber journalism. So, cyber journalism is nothing but online journalism. So, here, this online journalism is facilitated by your internet, whatever the technology which is available at present. So, here, the same way, whatever we use as news values, etc., to maybe disseminate the information for the readers and the broadcast media audiences, the same kind of news values we take into account, and based on that, we also write stories for the broadcast, this cyber journalism or the news portals which are there in the online. So the cyber journalism or online journalism that includes blogs, podcasting, where the audio is being recorded and that is being uploaded. Then you have live streaming, etc., and microblogging, transmedia projects and apps. Along with that, we have social media platforms. With that, a lot of information is disseminated for the audiences. So along with that, if you see all those traditional newspapers and the magazines, along with that, we also have the television stations. They have exclusively, they have their own news pages in online platforms to communicate whatever is happening throughout the globe. Along with that, the traditional mediums like newspapers and the radio stations, along with that, the magazines and the other platforms where they used to disseminate the news. The same way, cyber platforms or the online platforms also used to disseminate this information for the audience. And the importance of this online journalism or web journalism is, if you are anywhere throughout the globe, so any individual who is logging into your pages, etc., they can read. And the same way, if it is like television also, with the technology available, like with the help of the DTH, etc., people throughout the globe can receive the signals from the concerned television stations. So if you see the characteristics of this cyber or online journalism, hypertextuality. So if it is a newspaper, you will not get any kind of hypertext links. So that leads to reading another story which is linked to the story which is presented in a page. So, but if it is a online journalism, there is a the hypertextuality is something which is possible, where they can drive the reader from one page to the other page, or from one news stories to the other, or from one text to the other stories. So that is only possible in online journalism. And the connected or related stories related to one story, what you present through the news, online portals, etc., that also can be read by your readers if they have interest in that news. But if it is a traditional media like newspapers, where you can't provide any hyperlinks, etc., they can only read that particular story what you present in the newspaper, but not the rest of that. And multimedia. But if it is a newspaper, you can only print the news, but you can't print the news and images, but you can't have the videos or audios, etc., to be accommodated in the newspaper. But if it is a multimedia platforms like online journalism platforms, etc., then everything, it can include the text, it can include the words or the news stories, and it also include the tables or figures, etc. It also can have the video content on its platform, the text, infographics, everything can be accommodated in your news pages in your online journalism. And interactivity. If it is a newspaper, generally, if we are interested to give our feedback to the concerned newspaper editor, etc., regarding the stories which are printed in the newspaper, we have to send a letter to the editor. But whether the letter is going to be printed in the next day's newspaper or not, again, it depends on the concerned editor. So depending on the space available, only a few letters can be printed or accommodated in the news page. But if it is a multimedia platforms like your cyber journalism or online portals, etc., every individual can give their feedback regarding the news which is printed or any information that is being disseminated or a video which is presented through the multimedia platforms or online platforms. And ubiquity. Users can be any place. So they are can be throughout the globe at any point of time. We can reach the readers. And the readers can, if they have your link or web information, etc., they can just go into your pages and they can read or consume the information. But if it is a newspaper that have a limited circulation or limited geographical area, that can be where the newspaper can be distributed. And if it is a television also, if they do not have a satellite technology to receive the signals, or maybe if you are not your signals, you are using a terrestrial transmission kind of processes and it is limited to a specific geographical area, other people cannot receive your content. But because of this cyber journalism or online platforms, every individual who is sitting throughout the globe, if they can log into your pages, they can consume your content, whatever is presented. So here, the websites or the online journalism portals or platforms can include the videos, podcasts, blogs, slideshows, whatever. So everything can be accommodated in your pages in your cyber journalism. So that is the advantage of your cyber journalism. Then investigative journalism. Where a journalist is digging into the information and they get to know about the various information, or it can be relates to the past, a crime story or a scandal, or it can be a corruption related information, or it is maybe the political parties or how they involved in various kinds of activities, etc. So here the investigative journalism journalists spends a lot of time in digging for the facts. So they do collect a lot of information with the help of editors or maybe conducting research, etc., or discovering the previously unknown information, etc. So based on that, they will provide a objective view of a particular news story that is going to be discussed for the audience. So when these investigative journalists work in digging out the facts and figures, etc., related to the particular story, so they come up with a final report, and that is something will be coming out in the form of an expose. If it is related to a scandal, or it can be related to a terrorism, or it can be a crime where you reveal the actual culprits through your investigative journalism. So here, most of the investigative journalism is done by the newspapers and wire services. Along with that, there are many freelance journalists. They also work as the investigative journalists and provide news for the various means of communication channels. And here, investigative journalism is when reporters, they deeply investigate into the topic of interest. It can be anything, like just now I said, it can be a crime, political corruption, or any other scandal, or maybe it relates to the maybe the life of people who are into positions of power, or maybe it relates to the individual candidates' background information. For example, if you see when Prime Minister's whether he completed his BA or not from the Delhi University, people asked under the Right to Information Act, and that was came in your newspaper whether he studied, when he studied, whether he passed or not. So here, the same way, investigative journalism journalists also use all kinds of means of platforms to dig into the story and investigate the story and come up with the final conclusions and final report and tell the audience what is the truth regarding to that particular thing. So here, They discover the information with the help of the records and registers. They are not so accessible for the common people. And photojournalism. So if you see the newspapers, etc., photos are very the elements of your story. So here, photos, what you call the help of these photos, generally, you will add a value to the story that you present for the readers. So when people look at your headline and if they look at the pictures which are presented by stories, they come to know about what you are going to tell in the written your story. So here, these pictures becomes the most important part of news story. They break the monotony of putting a lot of information in the form of words for the readers. Or the photos will inform and illustrate and explain the audience about the story which you are printing for the readers or the broadcast media audiences. So taking a picture is a very easy job, but what kind of pictures you are clicking, whether the picture will tell the story for the audience is also an important thing. So the photojournalists, what we call them, those who click the pictures for the concerned newspapers, depending on the publication needs of the particular newspaper, etc., the photojournalists will click the pictures. So here, the photojournalism is nothing but you are telling the story with the help of the camera. So with the help of the camera, you are clicking the pictures and the pictures will tell the audience the story what is intended by you to tell for the readers or the audience. So here, depending on generally, if you see the technical piece of camera, generally it is anything. So that it is the video camera or maybe the audio camera, whatever it may be. So the picture will tell the audience what is intended. So when you are taking the pictures, you have to use the right kind of composition, which means what are the things you are including in your rectangle shape of your photograph. So what are the things you include, whom you include, what are the other background information you include or exclude, etc. That is something where you have to use the right kind of composition. And the light is something that will help the video camera or maybe the photographic camera, whatever it may be. The light is something that helps, it illuminates the subjects. And when there is only the light which is sufficiently provided in front of your camera, then only the camera can capture. So for example, if you, your eyes, generally wherever you go, your eyes will maybe adjust to the kind of lighting which is there in your surroundings. For example, if you enter into your seat, etc., generally, even though that is dark, after few seconds, your light, your eyes will adjust to the surroundings, and you will be able to see. But the camera cannot see if there is no light in front of the camera. So the lighting whatever you provide is which is required to take your pictures. And different kinds of lights will be there, artificial lights, and sun is something we call it as a natural source of light. In the sunlight, pictures. And again, what you include the composition or framing of your objectives and whether the story, whatever you are narrating for the readers or the broadcast media audiences, the right kind of composition or pictures or the video, whether you are taking or not, is important. And something, photo essay is something where the help of various photos, you will be going to tell a story for the readers. So here, the editors will decide on the use of the photographs in your news pages. So here, whether it is going to catch the attention of your readers, exclusively the picture what you want to accommodate in the news pages, and whether it will provide you the readers, or whether the story will narrate any information, illustrate or add any information or supplements or to the editorial content, what you provide for the readers, etc. And whether the news, the picture can make pages look more presentable or appealing for the readers, etc. Keeping in view all these three major purposes, the editors of the particular newspaper will decide on your pictures. So here, most of the time, the newspapers would print establishing shots or establishing pictures, which means, for example, you are attending a public meeting. Depending on who is the main speaker of that particular public meeting, keeping in view when he is maybe giving a lecture or speaking with the public, etc., they will click the picture, and along with that, a large number of audiences who might be presenting there, attending that meeting, etc. Or maybe depending on if a subject speaking, etc. Maybe, for example, in a smaller meetings, etc., if a person speaks, then keeping in view that particular person, you may use mid-shots or close-ups also, depending on your requirement. And cut line, or what you call a caption. Cut line and caption are both same. Cut line is the words that explain what is in a photograph. So you are clicking the pictures and you are accommodating that in along with your news story. But along with that, you will write a cut line that will explain the photograph, where it is took, or what is about the news story, whether it is a file photo or whether it is captured at the right time when you are presenting the story, etc. So that will, the information regarding the photograph, the cut line will speak. For example, CM addressing the gathering at public gardens. So that is your caption, and the photograph will tell that CM is addressing the gathering at your gardens. So here, that is cut line that will explain your story. And whatever you write, and global media journalism. Global media journalism is nothing but you are reaching with your content, whatever you are writing down. You may be writing for your broadcast media, like a television or a radio, or you may be writing for the readers using your print medium as a medium of communication, where you include newspapers and magazines and books. It can also include any other printed mediums, etc. Then along with that, global media journalism is nothing but where you are reaching the global audience with your content with the help of your satellite distribution or satellite communication. So here you are allowing all the people who are residing throughout the globe to receive your content. Either it can be with the help of your television signals, which would be available to reach the global audiences, like television transmission. If you are uploading your programs to the satellite, anyone who is residing throughout the globe can receive the content. Okay, so here the satellite communication is making the whole world as a global village, and all of us can receive the content simultaneously, which is presented through the global media journalism, whatever you call. So instantly, the information or the facts, whatever can be distributed among the readers or listeners, etc. Journalism include sensationalizing the news. So your intention is generally, if it is a news, you have to present the news in a fair, objective, balanced manner for the readers. But here in yellow journalism, more people will sensationalize the news so that it will attract the audience or readers towards your issue. Provide information, fully sourced information, and misleading headlines they give. That happens, you see, in your news portals. The headline will be something, and when you watch the program, that is something which is a different one. What they put the information under the headline. So here, generally, it can be fake interviews can be present, or scare tactics or questionable signs, etc. Okay, now are you able to see? Do I have to share? I think I have to share this page. Here we are. Okay, hello. So here, generally to attract your audiences or the readers of your newspapers, etc., this elogism is being came into existence. And if you see the history of this elogism, there was a newspaper circulation war between the uh, Hertz, New York Journal, and the Pulitzer's newspaper called New York World, and they have started publishing something called Allocate comics to attract the readers. So they started this Allocate, and later on, Allocate is comics they used to print in the newspapers to attract the readers, etc. And here, later on, the Allocate came to be known as Allogenism. Later on, here, a lot of content, misleading content is being provided for the readers to sensationalize the ordinary news, whatever it can be. So here, if you see the current situation, there are more than 900 channels. The television channels are there in our country, and the news and current affairs channels. Along with that, we have uh, entertainment channels. Okay. Then we have newspapers and also the magazines. So to compete with uh, your counterparts, etc., then you ordinary news is also sensational. It has become a practice by our major television channels and the newspapers and magazines too. So misleading information is provided or the ordinary news is sensationalized so that people will come and watch your news or come and read your newspapers. Then we have a typology of journalism based on your subject specific. So just now we have discussed about the medium, how the news is being disseminated for the audience, like print, broadcast journalism, uh, uh, then global media journalism, we have yellow journalism, etc. But here, if you see what kind of content you are disseminating through your newspapers, broadcast media, etc., based on what is being disseminated for the audience, you have subject specific journalism like development journalism, environmental journalism, civic journalism, lifestyle, business journalism, and also sports health journalism. So here, in the previous class also we have discussed generally what is the aim of any journalism. So the aim of journalism is nothing but collecting the information processing the information and presenting that information for your readers, broadcast media audiences, etc. So here, the news, like throughout the globe, whatever is happening, north, east, west, and south, all parts of the globe, whatever it can happen, whatever is happening throughout the globe, if it has a news value, some way or the other, directly or indirectly, it can affect the public life, or it has some kind of impact on the audiences if they receive, etc. All that information is presented for the readers, viewers, and the listeners. So each journalist, a person who is working for a media institution, is being assigned by a beat. So beat is nothing but a topic or a specific area that the journalist will cover for his newspaper or a broadcast media. So depending on the importance, depending on the area, etc., the beats are assigned. For example, Usmania campus beat or Ambedkar University campus beat, etc. If anything happens in your college or in your university, that is being covered by a specific journalist as who is assigned by the particular newspaper or a magazine or television news channel. So when it comes to your development journalism, so there are two concepts related to the development journalism. One is development support communication. The other one is development communication. So both DSC and development communication are part of your development journalism. So the development journalism is, the purpose of this development journalism is reporting, is to create some kind of sense of environment among the people. It provides a lot of information, or it is something, the primary aim of your development reporting is to promote socio-economic well-being of people through your means of communication. So what are the changes which are happening in society, like media playing an important role in modernizing the society? There is a communication scholar who says that medium is the message. So this mediums, whatever you are using, these mediums will tell the audience what is the required information, and it plays an important role in modernizing the society and disseminating the information relating to your new discoveries or the products or the innovations. It also changes the thinking process of the human beings in the society. It also transmits the culture from one generation to the other. It also bridges the gap between your policy makers and the public. So it also reports on the development which is happening in the society. So here, it also makes the people realize the needs and how they can protect the resources which are available at present. So here, the media also something which persuades the audience to adopt the new innovations, where the new innovations are communicated using all these kinds of mediums or the channels as the platforms to disseminate that information for the public. So here, the development reporting is something which includes the success stories of people who have adopted new technologies, tried new methods of doing something, and they are benefited themselves and help the society to promote or to develop. So there are various theories which support this development journalism, like media. They are in favor that media promotes development in the country some way or the other. So promoting environment, disseminating the information, promoting well-being of women, protecting the rights of women, protecting the rights of the children, or maybe protecting the environment, or promoting the socio-economic poverty elevation schemes. So all that is something which includes your development journalism, where media is a platform that is directly or indirectly supporting in promotion of development of a country. Environmental journalism. there is something called environment is nothing but where we live. It includes all the aspects of your globe or the environment. It can include the biodiversity, climate changing, all kinds of pollution, what we are seeing now, etc. So all that is part of your environmental journalism. So what is the role of this environmental journalism is to make the people aware of the issues which may affect your environment, etc. So here, environmental journalism role is to keep up a continuous effort to inform the public and to make a constant effort to increase this awareness about the environment among the all the stakeholders, that includes your public. So here, the skills is required for an environmental reporter is the ability to understand the technical and highly specialized scientific information, and he has to have the ability to write and rewrite the stories in a way the public can understand what you disseminate for the public. For example, if a scientist discovers something which is going to help the human being in a certain way. So the scientific communication might not be able to understand for a common person, but the environmental journalist or reporter has to report in a way the scientific information is disseminated for the public. And the environmental reporter should have a scientific background too, so that he will be able to communicate the information for the readers or the broadcast media audiences. The environmental reporting includes science, medicine, it can include public health, meteorology, engineering, city planning, economics, etc. Everything, it has some kind of impact on the human's life. So continuous awareness is needed until we reach the point where optimum development of our resources with a minimum disturbance to the environment. There is a commission called Brundtland Commission that proposed a concept called sustainable development. So the concept itself says that without compromising the present needs, we have to use the resources which are available at present in the environment, in the society, but we have to keep in mind the future generations to protect these resources. For example, if you want to protect your biodiversity, one is linked to the other. For example, if you want to protect your tigers, you need to have the forest. If you have to have forest, you should not cut down the trees, or you have to go for plantation. And that can be only done by your human beings. So other beings do not have a sense about the environment where they live, but the human being is the only one who is exploiting all these resources which are present in the environment. So we are the one who are maybe changing or maybe disrupting the environment. Okay, my screen is not visible. Huh? I will share my screen. I don't know why it is not visible. I think you are able to see now. So it is already there in your syllabus also. The same thing we are discussing here. So here, having a scientific background is an advantage for the environmental journalist. And environment is not only includes your scientific information or environment information, it also has it is linked to all the issues which are there in our society. Okay, like it can be politics. If politicians or the policy makers are making some changes in certain laws, etc., it can have impact on the other things. So how it is not only presenting what is happening in the environment, but it is the duty of your environmental journalism to provide the news how this environment also can be protected with minimum distracting and maximum utilization by the present generation. But we can use these natural resources, but keeping in view the future generations. And for example, if you are cutting down one tree, it is the duty of a citizen to plant one or two trees so that that will grow and it can compensate what you are distracting. Okay, environmental journalism will provide all that information. It makes the people aware of your environment, where you are living, and how the changing environment could affect your human life, how the climate is changing, what is the impact of your global warming on the our human health, or how it is linked to the biodiversity, how the radiation is linked to your sustainability of your birds or the environment, etc. So all that information is provided by your newspaper, and again, you will also have the news magazine programs in television and other means of communication. And there are special magazines which are printed by even the government and the private organizations. There is one magazine called Down to Earth, and Yojana is one of the magazine which reports about the environment and rural reporting, etc. Then you have civic journalism. So civic journalism is nothing but the media is something which presenting the information regarding the people and how they are suffering with various things. For example, here the media acts as a bridge between your government and the public. So, for example, if there is an issue of drainage in a place, a person can inform the media institution as a citizen, those who have a responsibility, and the newspaper prints the news, and immediately the government may take action and they can repair the thing. So here, civic journalism is exclusively related to your public and public problems that are going to be reflected with the platform of journalism. And there are people who are contributing and writing for the newspapers about the public life and the issues which they are facing. It can be a minimum small problems to the major inconveniences or major threats to the public life. And lifestyle journalism. Now you also have lifestyle magazines exclusively. They present information regarding the lifestyle. It includes the restaurants, cuisines, etc. The different trends in your food industry. Okay, then it also presents the reviews on your restaurants, etc., the culture, the dressing style. Everything could be provided and it could be part of your lifestyle journalism. So this in this lifestyle journalism that caters different kinds of needs of your audience. Those who are interested in that kind of news, they can consume that content. It will have your entertainment content, music, shopping, decoration things, etc., and designing things, gardening, leisure, etc. So everything which is needed by a human being, etc., all those basic needs, whatever, etc. Based on that, people may depend on this lifestyle journalism to consume that kind of information. So the journalists covers all this information so that people can come to know about all that information which they present. Like it can be a shopping malls, or the music, or it can be relates to the films, or the traditions, or the culture. It can be food industry. It can be reviews on the restaurants, etc. So that you can plan your things to go to the restaurants, etc. So this attracts lifestyle journalism also attracts the audiences a lot. And you have exclusively, there are magazines which print this information for the benefit of your readers. Then business journalism. It is a field of journalism where they will present information which is related to economic issues or economic situations or development, etc., of a nation. It includes. And all that information in the business journalism deals with the economic issues which are present in the society. Then it can include so here, the business journalism, journalists should have minimum knowledge of what is the union budget, finance bill, treasury bill, the central plan or expenditure, what is the division of pool, balance sheet, balance payments, devaluation, means of advances, gross domestic products, demonetization, its effect. So all that information a business journalist should know, and he should present for the audience how it affects the public life through the business journalism. And the budget, as a common person, we may not be able to understand how the union budget or the state budget will have impact on us, but a business journalist may tell us how it is going to have its impact on the human being's life. So financial correspondents, generally whom we call them, who report the business issues for the newspapers, etc., they have knowledge about the banking systems. Okay. So types of banks, the money markets, loans, securities, foreign exchange markets, and government regulations, all this could be part of your uh, business journalism. So you are making the people aware of the all that information which is related to business journalism. For example, from belongs to a company who is taking over any other company, and how much this company is getting by selling, or how the other company is taking over, what are the rules and regulations of that company, or how what is the
Your
value
voice.
of, okay, I don't know. Okay. So what is the value of the share markets of the particular companies, etc.? That everything is provided by your business journalism. So here they interpret the news for the benefit of the public, as we might not this relates to for example, union budget or state budget or capitals, securities, etc. So, but the media is something, a platform that disseminates, it interprets the news for the audience. So here, the sources of information for your business journalists, that includes the economic ministries of your government of India. They provide a lot of information that is, again, as it is coming from your original source, or the source can be trusted, that can be printed in your newspapers without any kind of bias. And the finance ministries, you have commerce, industry, railways, coal, tourism, communications, steel, power, labor, all that will be from where you can gather the information for your business newspaper. So, sir, for example, you also have the exclusive newspapers which provide business information, like business standard, business line. You have Mint, you have that are exclusively printing this business journalism or content related and people those who are interested may go and consume those kind of newspapers. But we also have the general newspapers, etc. All that kind of information which is happening throughout the globe can be accommodated in those kind of pages. So business journalism is no longer confined to only a business, but it also covering the politics, administration, science and technology, consumer protection and consumer protection laws, whatever are there. It is relating to the population, then privatization of organizations and companies, government sector organizations, etc. It is also dealing with the intellectual property rights. Intellectual property is something where the human, with the help of his intellect, when he creates, that is something what we call intellectual property. Again, where we have trademarks, copyrights, then we have industrial geographical indications also, we have industrial designs we have. So all that is a part of your intellectual property rights, and copyright law also comes under your intellectual property. And social welfare, it is dealing with the social welfare schemes, social poverty elevation schemes of the central government and state government. Education also is included as part of your business journalism. Then food, agriculture, information, rural development, and urban development. All this could be your part of your business journalism. Then we have sports journalism. Exclusively, it presents the information relates to the sports and sports personalities, etc. So here the media informs the people about the games individuals watch, and the people who play these games, etc. Then issues surrounding those people who are playing these games, etc. It can be related to their personal life or private information, or it can be related to their family, or it can be related to the winning of the medals, etc. So all that is information is provided in the form of your sports journalism. And each newspaper will have their own sports page. Every day, what is happening in the sports field, they provide that information so that those who are interested in the sports journalism can go and read those kind of pages. And we also have DD Sports, for example, the Doordarshan owned network channel. We have DD Sports 24/7 basis. They provide the video content or audio-visual content for the audience relates to the sports. So it is also a field, popular field where people consume a lot of information. And mostly the youngsters or people, those who are interested in sports, would read this sports news related, whatever. And it is also one of the interesting beats in the field of reporting. It deals, sports journalism can be defined as gathering, selecting and interpreting, along with that disseminating the sports news for the benefit of the readers, viewers, and also the listeners. So here, just now I said sports newspapers have their own special section where they disseminate the information relates to the sports personalities and the games which are being organized and etc. at every part of the globe. And sometimes the news pages where the sports news is also accommodated in the front page of your newspaper. Along with that, you have the separate section for sports pages. Even there are separate television channels like Star Sports, ESPN. They are transmitting the live matches, and they have a huge audience who follow the sports news. Then we have health journalism. It exclusively deals with the content that relates to health information, that including the public health campaigns, health education, and the journalism, as just now said, it acts as a bridge So it acts as a bridge between your doctor and the patient also. So health journalism is something which is more concerned with promotion of the health information among your mass media audiences, readers, and listeners. So the purpose of disseminating this health content or health information is to make the people aware of their personal health and the health, personal health choices to improve their own health literacy or the information, health education, etc. So here, people will come to know about the health, etc., to avoid various health risks that they may encounter during their life from the beginning to the end. So this health journalism also have a lot of impact on the audiences at present. And for example, if a person is having overweight, mostly they search for the information how they can reduce the information, reduce their overweight, etc. And what are the tips they can follow at their home or where they can go for reducing their health, like a gym or a hospital, or maybe go for treatment, etc. Or if they are obese, etc., then how it affects their health, whether they get maybe the what do you call health or PCOD or whatever it can be. So, which means health is a major issue now at present generation is focusing on, and people want to know how each thing will affect their health. So, health is something which we consider as a wealth, and human beings at present generation, like if you see all kinds of natural resources like air, water, and food, everything is been polluted. So in this kind of situations, people are paying a lot of attention to their health, and to try to protect their health with the possible things whatever is around. So health journalism is also a promising journalism where we can find a lot of people who are interested to know this health related information. And many of the specialized magazines, they are exclusively focusing on health. And if you see the online platforms also, there are many channels they have exclusively having their own slot in promoting health as a content. So they acting as a bridge between your common man and the doctor. Most of the time there will be interviews which are conducted, and also there are participatory programs like phone-in programs, etc. If you have a health issue, generally, if the channel is calling us subject experts or a doctor who is expert in that kind of who is dealing with those kind of diseases, so you can call the channel and your doubts also can be clarified. If there is a need, you can go for other medication, maybe provided by a particular doctor who can cure your diseases, etc. So the lot of content is being disseminated through the means of platforms what we have. Yes, with this, we have completed your Unit 10 and Unit 8, that is exclusively dealing with what is journalism, etc. And Unit 10, you have typology of journalism that we have completed. And tomorrow, I have a class. Again, we'll discuss about the ethical principles we have. One more thing we have is the history of journalism. So we'll discuss about the history of journalism tomorrow at the same time. Maybe I will join around 10:30. I'm not part of your Bravo group, so just see that somebody else will add your name in your group. Okay, I am stop sharing my screen. Then I will be leaving here because we'll have a class tomorrow at the same time at 10:30. Okay, thank you. Do you have any doubts? important questions. I'm not sure because I don't know the pattern of your exam also. So you just contact your people there in your journalism faculty at your okay, because they provided us 12 units. So I don't know how this distribution of these units is there as part of your uh, syllabus. So based on your syllabus, you have to read. Okay, thank you.